It's almost unbelievable. The position that you are in, that we are in, together to change that can make history. You are on the verge of shifting into a new economy. And I am like overwhelmed and incredibly appreciative of all the work that everyone has been engaged in here. And my remarks will be short today for two reasons. One, I was hit by a car on St. Patrick's Day at sunset and survived the crash with some broken bones and some stitches and cuts and bruises. And about an hour and a half ago, my mother her home was invaded and she was physically beaten. So I'm going to be leaving in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to share with you these comments to express how important the work that you're doing really is. I mean, someone hit me with their car and continued on their way in a very poor area where we operate. CSRwire operates on a chemically contaminated street in a very depressed city in western Massachusetts that shares the following characteristics in two zip codes. There are 1,200 young men between the ages of 17 and 24 that share these characteristics. One, they're convicted felons. Two, they've never held a job. They haven't graduated from high school. They don't have a GED. They have no relationship with a male figure. It's basically a small army waiting to gather together. We chose to be there. We choose to be at that place, at that part of the town and in that city so that we can do our work. We do our work there because we want to be part of the solution. And in the future, you will decide on who you conduct business with based upon their values, where they operate, what they do, how they think, what they believe in, whether they can be trusted, whether they're really doing what they say they're doing. And then you will do business with her, and she'll do business with him, and then you will create a new economy based on ethical business practices. And you won't have to worry about getting hit by a car, and you won't have to worry about your mother getting beat up in her house. Because the wealth will be a little bit more distributed, there'll be less crime, there'll be more ethics, and society will be a much better place for us to live in. And I really, really can't emphasize enough that the work that you're doing is so inspiring to me that if I could spend the rest of the day here, I would. But Andre was kind enough to get me a car. I'm going to go downstairs, get the car, and go back to Massachusetts. My mother said she should have fought back a little harder. Yeah. But she's alive, and she's alive.